Hello, welcome to Oceanic Oracle. My name is Ari and today I've got a book haul for you all. So I'm going to show you all the books that I got in September. There are quite a few. I just felt like shopping. In the past few weeks I've needed to get some new stuff. I have one book on here that I've got that is a repurchase because I have it on my Kindle, because I wanted to have a physical copy of it because I want to annotate it more so than I can on my Kindle. On Kindle, as nice as it is, I only have 5 colours I can annotate with. I need more than 5. And like the orange and the yellow look so similar that I'm just like, I need more than 5 colours to annotate with. So that's why I've got a physical copy here. I'm going to be breaking this down into young adult, more new adult, and adult content. So I'm going to be linking timestamps and putting stuff down in the bar here, so you can just skip to the moment in time where I talk about your favourite genre. I don't have any middle grade, so there's that. But I do have a variety of things. Some of them are physical and I have a few on my Kindle, so let's get started, shall we? So first off, I'm going to be starting with the young adult books. The first one being Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. Warga? I'll go with Warga. This book is written in verse, as you can see here. In this book, it focuses on Jude and her mother and their life in Syria. Once the conditions get too difficult for them to live in anymore, she and her mum move to be with other members of her family in the United States. She moves to Cincinnati, and it's all about her journey there, and it's about the cultural differences, I believe. It's about Jude being more comfortable in herself and learning about the things that make her her. I think it'll be a really good book, and I think it's something that more people should read. It's won multiple awards. I mean, you can see by the giant stamp on the front. But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking that up, which I should be doing next month. The next book that I picked up, which is in the young adult section, is Don't Hate the Player. I am really excited to read this. I might actually pick this up before the end of the month. This is about a girl called Amelia Romero. She is the star on her field hockey team. She's a straight A student, but by night, Amelia kicks butt in a highly competitive gaming team. She's the only female on the squad, and it's about her journey to play in a major tournament. Along the way, we also are introduced to this guy. This guy is called Jake, I believe, yes. Jake Cooper. He is also a competitive gamer. He's had a crush on Amelia since he was 10, and he also plays competitive gaming. One day, when Amelia turns up at this competitive gaming tournament, one person on the other team recognises her, and that person's Jake, and it's about their story from there. One of the reasons I picked this up is that it's been blurred by one of my favourite authors, Casey McQuiston, up here. I am looking forward to picking that up. I think I might pick that up before the end of the month if I can. I should be able to read it. YA books are usually easier for me to read because they go by quite quickly. So there we go. Should pick that up soon. Now on to new adult books, because I'm like that and I buy a whole load of new adult books. I classify new adult as people in the ages of like 19 through to like 26, 27, because new adult is more sort of university age students as opposed to adult fiction, which I see as more like older people. Like I don't mean to offend anyone, but like people in their 30s, I think they're more like adult books as opposed to new adult. Also, new adult books tend to have a lot more smut in it than adult books do. That's just the way it is, and that's how I classify these. The first one I'm going to start off with is Fortuna Sworn. Is a book about a girl who is a paranormal creature, She is a nightmare, meaning that she has the ability to make people see their worst nightmares. Her brother has been taken and she's on a mission to try and find her brother. And in this story, it's about like her fight for her brother and her fight to get him back. It is a very dark book. I was not expecting the darkness of it when I read it, but I see why lots of people like it. It's more of a new adult book than a adult book. It was really interesting. I have read this already, and like I'm trying to keep my synopsis brief because I don't want to give out any spoilers, because I don't want to do that to anyone, especially if they're interested in this sort of book. So if you like fantasy romance, if you like fantasy, I'm sure you'll like this. But be warned, there are lots and lots of triggers for this book. Please go online and look at the trigger warnings, because I cannot remember them off the top of my head, and I don't want people to get triggered by what they're reading. It's not a fun experience. No one should experience it. The next book that I got that's in the new adult age range is Black Girl Magic, and in this book it's about a girl who has been born into this family where they've been cursed to only be able to stay in this town forever. None of them can leave, like they can't leave the town ever, and she is a witch, as you can see by the like title page. I got this because I like because it's almost Halloween. I mean, I'm getting my orange out. It's almost Halloween and I want to read more like Halloweeny things, so like witches, like that sort of thing. And I also saw it on Jean's bookshelf. She did a whole video. I'm gonna link it up in the corner. She filmed a video talking about witches and books, so if you're looking for more like witchy sort of recommendations to read this time or year round, please go and watch her video because I think it'd be useful to you. This is also a romance book. There's a paranormal investigator who turns up and starts poking his nose around looking for the paranormal in this town, and it's about the sort of like romance between them. This guy doesn't actually believe in the supernatural, so I think that's going to play an important part, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Like, who doesn't want more new adult romance in their life? I certainly do. And on to the next one, which is one of my most anticipated releases of this year, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is about a student in her third year of her PhD. Her name is Olive, and it's about a bet that she has with her best friend who believes that love exists, because Olive doesn't believe in long-lasting love. So in order to convince her best friend that Olive is on her way to her happily ever after, she goes out and she kisses the first guy that she sees, this guy being the main protagonist in this book. I think this book has fake dating in it. I just really like love in a laboratory setting. I studied science at university, so I was in the lab a fair bit, and I'm really here for more like STEM-based romances. I think that's great. I'm looking forward to picking this up, which will be next month. Please go watch my October TBR if you haven't already. I'm also going to be linking that in the corner. But this book is on my October TBR and I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's going to be such a good one to read. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it very quickly. Alright, now that those are out of the way, time to move on to the more adult books. These are books that I bought in my local bookshop in the adult section. I'll start off with the non-fiction book. The non-fiction book that I picked up was Educated by Tara Westover. This is about Tara Westover's life. It's a memoir, and Tara Westover was born into the world where the government didn't know she existed. Like, she was born at home, she has no medical records, she didn't go to school, so she has no school records, and she's never been taken to the doctors to go, so she has no medical records. To the government, it's like she doesn't exist. The reason for this is because her dad, in particular, believes in the end of days, so they're busy preparing for the end of days, and they want to cut off their ties to the government, the US government. And it's about Tara and her life. She grows up and she eventually runs away from home, and it's all about the trials that she went through and what it's like being brought up basically in the middle of a cult. I'm really intrigued. I'm looking forward to picking this up. This is probably going to be really hard hitting. I'm looking forward to picking it up, and I've heard lots and lots of good things about it. Like, it's really, really interesting and educational. I'm going to be reading this in October as well. I'm looking forward to reading that. It's appropriate that my cat has come up and started meowing, because the next book that I have on my list is an adult fiction book, and it's called The Cat Who Saved Books by Suzuki Natsukawa. This is about a little boy called Rentaru Natsuki. There is a secondhand bookshop called Natsuki Bookshop, and it's run by this little boy's grandfather. And this boy, Rentaru, really, really loves books. One day his grandfather dies. This cat turns up at Natsuki Bookshop when Rentaru is feeling really, really sad. And this is a talking cat, a talking tabby cat called Ginger, who you can see on the cover here, which is really funny because even though my cat's not Ginger, she's a tabby and she's over there. This cat tells Rentaru that they need to go on an adventure and they need to save the books, and Rentaru gets on board. This just sounds like something that's right up my alley. It's a translated book, and it's all about a magical adventure between a boy and a cat. So I'm looking forward to picking that up sometime. The next book that I picked up this month was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the book that my book club have to read for September. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to be reading it in October because that's when the live show is going to be, and I need it to be like fresh in my mind. This is about the Reaver siblings, and it's about their life in the public eye because they are quite famous, as well as who they are behind closed doors. I think it's going to be like talking about the differences between how the face you put on for other people and the face that you only show to your like closest friends and family. I really like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I really enjoyed The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read Daisy Jones and the Six and I didn't really like it very much. So hopefully this book is like, I'm gonna like this book, but who knows. It says it's a fun summery read. I mean, like, I guess for other places like summer is over, but for people here, oh my god, it's still boiling hot. So it's going to be hot until the end of October. It's the end of September and it's still 34 degrees in Hong Kong, so I think I can read that in October and be fine. Now on to the last two books that I have in front of me. The one I have on top is the one that I've got a physical copy of, and I'm going to talk about that first. This book is The Viscount Who Loved Me. These are are two of my favourites of the Bridgerton series. This new one follows Anthony and the girl he ends up marrying. I really love this one. If you want banter, this is a fun historical romance for you. Our main character in this one, the girl, Kate Sheffield, she is really, really like witty, and she has smart comebacks which Anthony can reply to, and it's such a fun book because I love banter, and this book has it. It's sort of like a hate to love sort of story, definitely for both of them, and I just like, it's one of my favorites. I'm probably going to be rereading this very soon because I'm going to be annotating it along with my Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Those are the two books I got for annotating purposes, but this one is new and this is the last book. This is Because of Miss Bridgerton. This is a Bridgerton prequel. Julia Quinn has written a whole load of prequels for the Bridgerton series. This follows our Bridgerton siblings' father's sister, I believe. It's all about the Rokesbys. Like, that's the family that they were beforehand. Not 100% sure. but I'm interested. I should be able to go through this quite quickly. I wanted to pick up a physical version, and if I'm being honest, in my bookshop they had buy one get one free for these books. So when I picked up The Viscount Who Loved Me, I decided to give this one a try. I like the sounds of this. It's about, again, I think it's going to be a hate to love book, because it's about Billy Bridgerton, and she's expected to marry one of the Rokesby boys. The only Rokesby that she isn't interested in is George, because he's arrogant and annoying, and she's certain that he does not like her. So it sounds like the tropes that I really enjoy in romance. And that is the last book. So those are all the books that I got in September. There are a lot, but I have lots of them on my TBR for next month, and I'm excited. Catch me rereading the Bridgertons again, because I'm like that and I like historical fiction. If you've made it this far into the video, please leave a comment telling me what's the most recent book you bought. Leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already and you're interested in more sort of like bookish content. I'm going to be filming weekly vlogs in October because Spookathon is going on, so I'm going to be doing some Halloween-y type things to get in the mood, and you can follow me on my reading journey. I hope you have a wonderful day or night depending on when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!